Right, well here's the dog water, here's the red dot, and as you can see, functioning perfectly fine. G'day guys and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to talk about this little guy. It's a Siley red dot. So here we have the Siley Cobra X Pro. Siley reached out to me and offered to send me this red dot to test. I'd never heard of the company before, and like always, I need content, so yeah, sure, send it along. I'll take your free optics. We'll see what happens. So let's look at the box real quick. So it's a box. I really don't understand people's fascination with packaging, but this packaging is actually very nice. So we've got, what have we got in here? We have a manual that tells you all of the manual things. We have a card that tells you how to zero and different zeros you can have. So a 5-yard zero, a 10-yard zero, and a 25-yard zero. It tells you troubleshooting for zeroing, what things to check, you know, X, Y, Z. You get these cool little stickers. And we have another little card for zeroing here. So trouble holding zero, it has all of your troubleshooting on the back. So if you manage to get zeroed, then it doesn't hold zero. Here's the troubleshooting of how to do things. It has a little card, visual card for, you know, if you turn this screw this way, the red dot's going to move this way. So that is all pretty cool stuff to have. Lens cloth. We have about 1,000 different types of screws to fit a whole heap of different pistol slides for direct mounting this to the pistol, and then we have more screws in that pack there. So that's all pretty cool. And then in the very bottom we have a Picatinny rail mount right there. Now the footprint of this sight is Doctor, and Doctor is also Venom footprint. So Vortex Venom slash the Doctor's is the footprint. So yeah, packaging is all dandy and fine, and some of the information they give you is actually really, really good. This is one of the best manuals I have seen in an optic, and I've reviewed a lot of Chinese optics. It's really well written, it has a lot of good graphics on it, has a lot of troubleshooting, very clear and concise on how to use the buttons and how to turn the sight on and off and whatnot. Immediately when I look at this, one thing I don't like is the form factor of the hood itself. Now, this is the Cobra X Pro, and that's why they've tried to make the hood look like a bloody snake's head. I think that's a bit gimmick. They do have other ones that are pretty much this exact model without that crap on there, so if you're not into that look, go and get that. What it does have though, which I think is quite nice, is on the back side here, so the side that your eye looks into, we have serrations across. Now what serrations do on a rear sight, so whether that be the rear sight for a open sight set on a rifle or a pistol, or on the back of a optic like this, is it stops the sun from glaring directly off the back of a flat surface into your eye and distracting your eye from looking through the glass itself. So that is a pretty cool feature. Now it is selectable reticle. I'm usually not a fan of selectable reticle, but this one actually caught my eye and I quite like it. So you can have I'm just going to read off the menu here so I don't get these wrong. You can have a 2 MOA dot, which is quite small. I think most people shoot like 3 or 6 MOA dots on pistols generally. Then you have a 26 MOA outer circle. Now you can either have just the dot, just the circle, or the circle dot. So my preference for this particularly would be to keep it on the circle dot because it's a nice big reticle. This is going to go onto my Buckmaster shotgun. I think this is a perfect fit for that application. I don't shoot pistol, so therefore I'm not going to pistol mount it. I'm going to mount that directly onto a Buckmaster shotgun. I think that's going to work quite well. What it does have is automatic shake awake feature, which I think is pretty awesome, particularly for the price point of this little optic. Shake awake features have been around for quite a while, but I think that we've hit a point now in 2024 where they're actually performing the way they were intended. I think a lot of the older shake awake features were a bit shit. Now with this particular optic, I put it on the circle dot, so the biggest amount of light that it has to put out, which is going to be the biggest drain on the battery. I left it on and I put it on my kitchen bench next to my kettle. Now every single time I walked past this, I would pick it up to turn it back on. I would look through to check the brightness and then I would put it back down again. After 5 minutes, it will turn off. I'm just going to double check the manual and see if it is actually a 5-minute shake awake. It's 4 minutes, not 5 minutes. Sorry, my mistake. Good thing we have a bloody good manual. So after 4 minutes, it will turn itself back off, and then it's immediate shake awake. As soon as you even touch it, and one little test I did do was sit it down onto the bench and then tap the bench and it turns back on. So there is no doubt in my mind that that is going to activate when you pick it back up. Now, I did that every single time I walked past this optic. My kitchen's in the middle of my house. I have to walk past it 20 times a day at least, I'm sure. So I've done that for 2 months straight, and it has not even dimmed one little bit. I don't know what the actual rating of the battery is because they don't list it in their manual, but I dare say it is a lot. I think generally a red dot of this type is around, I think, 30 or 40,000 hours. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere around that mark. I'm actually very impressed with that, and a CR1632 battery that this takes is actually very cheap anyway, so even if it did go dead, it's not really a drama. The door for the battery is on the side, so you don't need to unmount the red dot to change the battery like some red dots you do, so that is pretty awesome. Now, with the brightness settings, I'll just quickly read this one out to you. So on operation mode, the site has 10 illumination settings, 8 daytime and 2 night vision. That's pretty cool. I don't have a set of nods, but if I did, this would be the red dot I'd use, considering it's the only one that I own now that has a night vision capability. I can't check that under night vision because I don't really have a pair of monoculars or binoculars to look through it with. I would check it with those binoculars, but they're x4 and it's a bit retarded to get your head in front of it with a dot, so I wouldn't be shooting through them anyway. With regard to warranty, so we're just going to read this out. Limited lifetime warranty. Contact Siley for repair or replacement. This warranty does not cover normal wear and tear, modifications, misuse, and accidents. So that's good to know. So, what do I think about this little red dot? I think this is actually pretty fantastic. I like it. I think that's pretty cool. Can't wait to put that on the shotgun and give it a wee blat. They also claim on the box that it is fully submersible. Let's go and stick that in a bucket of water to end this video off right. Hey dog. Oh, good boy. Oh, so good boy. Right, well, here's the dog water. Here's the red dot, and as you can see, functioning perfectly fine. Now it's fully submerged. It's functioning perfectly fine. Let's do that again. It's still functioning perfectly fine. So there you have it, guys. This little red dot is an absolute champion. Anyway, I hope you got something out of that. I will see you next video, and hooroo.